Hey buddy, welcome back to the channel and to World of Warships. So today I thought I'd give you guys a little first impression video of the new Tier 10 Russian premium cruiser, the Smolensk. And boy, my first impressions is wow. This is a really fun ship. Now, first off, I'm not really sure what Wargaming is going with this new direction in the game. I mean, they banned the Mikhail Kutuzov because it was so OP and has since released ships like Harugumo, now Smolensk, which is pretty much a Mikhail Kutuzov on crack, and soon also the Tier 10 Colbert. So I have a bit of trouble to see the logic there, which isn't that uncommon when it comes to wargaming, but well, since the ship is in the game, I thought I'd give you my take of it. And I mean, this is, as I said, a really funny cruiser. It's really funny to play. Maybe not that fun to fight against. I mean, I've seen these ships obliterate Tier 10 battleships, cruisers and destroyers in an instant, and but I mean it's a HE spammer. I mean the original HE spammer, pretty much. It's Kutuzov's bigger, badder, more fierce brother. Another thing that I think is which makes this ship pretty fun to play, it's actually the versatility of this ship. There is so many different kind of playstyles and builds you can do on this ship. Usually when you get a new destroyer, a new cruiser, a new battleship, I mean, you know exactly what kind of skill points or modules you're gonna take. You take the standards. But this is pretty much the first ship in I don't know how long, maybe ever, that you actually start to figure out different kind of builds. Both captain skills and modules. I mean, first off, this was, I think, my third or fourth game in the Smolensk. And the first couple of games I just swapped in my Grossovoy captain in the Smolensk. And that had a pretty good fit, because I had like concealment expert, I had AFT, and AR, and superintendent, and other good skills that was actually kind of sync for both ships. But then I started to wonder a bit if I shouldn't try out another captain build. And I also tried to switch out some reload module for range module, so I can get my range up to 19.2 kilometers, as you can see in this game. And I also actually tried with my new captain. I dropped concealment expert. So instead of having 10 km concealment, I have 11.2. So you're actually not really that dependent on having concealment expert on this ship. Because as I play it right now, I'm not really pushing into the caps with the destroyers, because, I mean, I'm not a Des Moines. I'm not a Worcester. So I use range instead. And with range, you can pretty much ignore taking concealment expert and instead depend on your great range, great accuracy, and also being able to maneuver and dodge incoming AP salvos from battleships. But you can also try and build it for higher DPM, which is actually a thing that I will try to do after this game. And that is just to try and switch it up and try different builds. So then I'm gonna switch to a demolition expert build, maybe basic fire training, and also reload mod instead of range mod. This will probably give me a range of 16.6 kilometers, I think, but my DPM will get so much higher. But as you can see in this game, you can tell that my DPM is pretty great even in this build. And that is something that I really enjoyed the short amount of time that I played this ship. Is you can change it up, have different kind of builds and different kind of setups, and that is quite refreshing for me actually. And also in this game I have IFHE on my captain. Oh, you have to look at this. Look at these AP shots on this battleship Hindenburg. That's 5.5k salvo. Another 5.5k salvo. And I mean, my reload is 4.5 seconds. That's 6,800 salvo. 3.6 thousand. I mean, you can melt even battleship Hindenburg if he shows you broadside in this cruiser. So, yeah, as I was saying, it's a pretty versatile ship. And of course, it's insane in its damage output. But somewhere in between all this, of course, Wargaming have to put in some kind of balancing factor, even though it's a Russian ship. And that is, of course, your armor is pretty much paper tissue. So you don't want to get blapped. It happened to me a couple of times in my first kind of games, and I mean, any battleship can pretty much insta-nuke you at any range, at any angle, pretty much. You have to really be, have map awareness and understand which ships have angles on you, and really know how to maneuver really well. Because you will get hurt. And that's why I'm opting for the range build right now. I wasn't really sure if the lesser range build with 16.6 kilometers would actually do with this ship being so weakly armored, pretty much. But it will be fun to try out different setups for this ship. Now, I was trying to ping my team because it seems like they just parked in the sea cap and it's only me, Gearing and Turpitz trying to actually play the objective. So I'm just hoping that they will try and wake up soon. And as you can see, and as you will see during this whole game, the fire chance is pretty nasty. I think I have a 10% fire chance with this build in this game. And that is with IFHE, which actually nerfs your fire chance. I don't have Demo Expert in this game, but I do have both fire flags. So you can even get a bigger DPM build and bigger damage output build with the Demo Expert if you change up your captain skills a bit. But as you can see, I'm already breaking 100k damage, and I'm almost haven't taken any damage in this game. And as you may saw in the start of the game, I tried to use island cover as concealment, and that is something that you really need to try to do in the Smolensk, because you only have 3 smokes, and that's with the superintendent and premium consumables. So saving them for the later part in the game is a really valid tactic. So trying to use cover islands to your advantage in the start of the game is pretty much a must. I'm already wondering how this ship will do in triple division with like a Minotaur and a Wooster. That would be really insane. And I'm not really sure why Wargaming implement these kind of ships, even though, I mean, it's really fun to play, but I think we will see a whole lot of rage from the battleship players in the upcoming future. I mean, this is just the start. Soon we will have a whole lot of Colberts as well. And yeah, it's not fun to be a battleship captain right now. They already have carriers and Benhams, and also newly released Summers to worry about. So yeah. Here I was considering firing on the Monarch, but I wanted to get this island in between us. Because even though the Smolensk has really flatter, faster shell arcs than the Colbert, you can actually use a whole lot of islands and sit behind and shoot over. Especially if you use this range build that I have in this game. But I think also at some strategic islands with the other build with 16.6 kilometers. I was also wondering a little bit about if I should go with defensive AA or Hydro, and in this game I actually chose Hydro, but playing the long sniper game as I built this ship for this game, I should probably actually go for the defensive AA if there is a carrier in the game, but you're never really sure if they're gonna be carriers or not in tier 10 games these days. And you're pretty much always sure it will be torp spamming ships like destroyers or Saus or Yoshinos. So maybe the Hydro is the more viable choice in the long run. So here you can see I'm just placing me behind an island so I can shoot on both the North Carolina and also the Monarch without being spotted. And this is just a great way to preserve your smokes for when you really need it. And I really need to compliment this gearing player, Kane Paso 6. I already gave him a compliment and I'm gonna give him another one in the end of the game. I think he played this game really well. Here I'm getting my 16 fire and my high caliber. And remember, this is not the most optimal fire build. I can do so much more than this. I heard the one guy in the Smolensk had like, it was 28 or 30 fires in one game. So yeah, not a good time for battleship captains. Now this game is coming to a closure. I mean, our win is safe. And I can now push out and take the risk of being shot at. I didn't really want to do that before, because as I said, you can go from full to zero pretty fast in this ship. And as you can see, even though I'm having this really long reach with my guns, it's not really that hard to get shells on target, even though I managed to miss a few here and there. But it's still the consistency. But as I said before, I will try out different builds for this, for sure. So the game comes to an end. And it was pretty well. It wasn't really a record in damage, but this was more like a first impression of the ship. And yeah, I will be playing this ship a lot in the upcoming days and trying out different builds, and both modules and captain builds, because I think this ship has great potential, either build you choose to go with. But yeah, I'm really interested in just finding the perfect match in this ship, because it is really a beast. Also, I have to compliment these two guys. I mean, tier 8 destroyers in a tier 10 game, and they carried the rest of the team pretty much. So GG to those guys as well. And as you can see, pretty good damage numbers. 18 fires, 60,000 fire damage. Took 46,000 out of the Hindenburg with my AP, which is also very potent. And some good credits and experience, of course, being a tier 10 premium ship. So, looking at my consumables, I of course run premium on all. And in this case I used the hydroacoustic search, but you could also change it to defensive AA. But I think hydro is the more viable choice, since torpedoes will always be in the game, but carriers won't. And if we look at the modules, you can see I have main armament and survivability pretty much. And I used engine boost oversteering in this case, concealment and range module. But here we can pretty much change up. We can have steering gears instead of engine module, and we can also have reload module instead of range, which I think brings down the reload to 4 seconds. And looking at the captain skills, this is what I ran with this game. But here I'm actually thinking about trying without IFHE and instead go with Demolition Expert and BFT to really pump up the DPM of the ship. But could probably lower the alpha damage. I'm not really sure. But as I said before, there are so many fun ways to change this ship up. to have different builds. So I will soon release probably more videos about this ship and with its different builds. Meanwhile, I want to thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Please leave a like and a comment below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, have a good one. Bye bye.